They are committed to completely eliminate this evil from the world for our existence, and let me add, for the benefit of all of humanity, the entire people and all of Israeli leadership. We all embrace them and believe them. You must remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy Bible, and we do remember, and we are fighting. Our brave troops and combatants who are now in Gaza or around Gaza and in all other regions in Israel are joining this chain of Jewish heroes, a chain that has started 3,000 years ago from Joshua ben Nun until the heroes of 1948, the Six-Day War, the 73 October War, and all other wars in this country. Our hero troops, they have one supreme main goal: to completely defeat the murderous enemy and to guarantee our existence in this country. We've always said, never again. Never again is now.
Also in Negative Commandment 59, that there's a mitzvah and a command to wipe out from among all the descendants of Esau, descendants of Amalek, male and female, young and old. What is Amalek? Says Hasidus, Amalek represents the concept of doubt. They put a doubt into everything that you want to do. That is why they're so evil. That is Amalek. And that is why Amalek is so terrible. And it has to be totally uprooted. Therefore, God tells us we should erase their memory. And we should eradicate them from the face of the earth.
But the Euro, the United States,
Esau is Europe, the United States.
The throne of God is incomplete until we destroy Amalek.
Esau, who in modern day terms is really basically, certainly one of them is America. Esau became Edom, which is a nation. Edom became Rome. Instead of it being Rome, it became Christianity. Christianity, of course, ultimately became Western civilization. So Esau today is really Western civilization.
In America today, we have white supremacy. In the Torah, we had Amalek. Amalek is seen as the eternal enemy of our people, whose members found strength by making us suffer. Therefore, when the Lord your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you, and the land that the Lord your God is giving to you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. Our rabbinic sages parse these sentences and derive two distinct meanings. Blotting out the memory of Amalek is a military command, literally to destroy Amalek.
So who's Edom? Edom includes most of Europe. It includes the United States of America. It's the Roman Empire that was never destroyed.
It's mitzvah from the Torah. One of the 613 commandments is to remember to erase the nation of Amalek, the memory of them even, not only physically to erase them from the face of the earth. Anything that reminds us about them is mitzvah to dismiss and to erase it from the face of the earth.
You know what? I'm going to give you the pieces of the puzzle, and you, my dear listeners, will put it together yourself. Number one, Esau, who became Edom, who became the Roman Empire, which metamorphosed into the Christian Empire, which became Christian civilization, which is now represented by the United States of America, will suffer a crushing, humiliating defeat after its attempts to wrest Jerusalem away from the Jews. How will this come about? Number two, towards the end of the exile, Edom will be split into two. This is the deeper meaning of the prophecy at the end of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 10. Yisparu v'yislabnu v'yitzorfu rabim v'hishiu rishoyim. Many will be separated and will be given clarity and will be purified, but the wicked will be very bad.
Yaakov, who's Yaakov? The Jews. The blessing of the Jewish people started right here. You will control the whole world. Everything in the world will be depend on your actions and decisions. economy, armies, financial, stock markets, science, medicine, big companies. The Jews will control the world. Whether the Goyim likes it or they hate it, that's a fact. It's written in a book that the Goyim admit that it's the book of God. So there's no argument here.
Esav, who is the symbol of all the nations, Christians or not.
Esav, who in modern day terms is really basically, certainly one of them is America. It all started, of course, with Esav. Esav became Edom, which is a nation. Edom became Rome. The Torah says Esav is Edom. The Gemara says, the Talmud says, that Edom is Rome, Zuroimi.
I want to make clear Israel's position regarding a ceasefire. Just as the United States would not agree to a ceasefire after the bombing of Pearl Harbor or after the terrorist attack of 9/11, Israel will not agree to a cessation of hostilities with Hamas after the horrific attacks of October 7th. Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible says that there is a time for peace and a time for war. This is a time for a war for our common future. Today we draw a line between the forces of civilization and the forces of barbarism. It is a time for everyone to decide where they stand. Israel will stand against the forces of barbarism until victory. I hope and pray that civilized nations everywhere will back this fight, because Israel's fight is your fight. Because if Hamas and Iran's axis of evil win, you will be their next target.